Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Coming to you on a sorrowful Sunday evening. Browns lose to the 49ers 26-8 in what ends up being a lopsided score. Honestly, was a really good game for a half. If games were only 30 minutes long, the Browns would have been winners in this one. But unfortunately, they play 60 minutes, and we're not able to put 60 minutes together against good teams this season. So Browns suffer a tough one. We're going to get into everything today, what we saw of the offense, defense, special teams. Obviously, it wasn't great. There were some good things, and it wasn't all bad. But like overall, it just wasn't it was just a poor game by the Browns, which really sucks because it was one of those games where it's like, if you can somehow pull off a win against the Niners and you got the Titans coming to town next week, who are, the worst team in football right now, all of a sudden you're staring at a 3-game win streak. And it's like, well, hey, Bengals just beat the Ravens. We'd only be 2 games out of first place and we play next week. Like, and possibly pick up a win, only be 1 game out of it. That's done.
Forget it.
In theory, we're still alive in the division because the Steelers are having their annual collapse and the Ravens just look like garbage against the Bengals, but we're in no way able to compete with any quality team. So there's not going to be any sneaking into the playoffs for this team. The little bit of hope they gave us with a win against the Raiders last week was short-lived. We're going to get into everything. We have Kenny Mack joining us here tonight because nobody knows if Justin Charles is alive. So if you guys have seen Justin, tell him to text us or let us know because I haven't heard his voice or anything in I don't even know how long. So
can't get a
Justin, if you're out there,
where are you, Justin?
Smoke signals from the island you're stranded on or something. We'll send somebody to come get you. So if anybody knows where Justin Charles is, tell him to let us know that he's okay. But we got Kenny Mack here tonight. Yes. And speaking of Kenny Mack, we have, this is the last day of November to help out his Movember campaign. Is tonight the official cutoff, Kenny?
Yeah, it's official cutoff. And, guys, just get that final push in there. You want to help guys live longer. And I don't know if you know this, but guys die actually 4.9 years earlier than women do. It's super preventable. And there's 5 different ways that you can actually, other than supporting me, of course, and supporting the cause, but this is just for you to take with you, right? So you can make a difference doing this. You can hang around people that make you feel good. So while you guys make me feel good, maybe we might have to cut the Browns out. I don't know about that. Talk more, be open, check in, speak honestly. You'll find that we're going to do that tonight. Know the numbers. Blood pressure, PSA. You guys got to know your cholesterol. Like the older we get, that stuff's important. Check your middle region, prostate, testicles, man. Those are the 2 biggest things why guys die, right? I know today felt like a hoof in the nuts, but we'll get through it today. And last but not least, guys, you have to keep moving. We're all sitting around. We're watching the games today. Might have had a couple pints, but get out to the gym tomorrow, get moving, and get after it. But I got really good news. I know the Browns went home losers today, but for all those that supported me, we went home winners because I wanted to collect $2,500. We did $3,000. We're over $3,000 now. So if you see that Mo Space, come and give some money and help some guys out, help everybody live a little bit longer. And I really appreciate you guys helping me out and getting there. I know Andrew Jackson's got in there, the Dogs Podcast. I've had a bunch of you guys. There's some names in there that I don't know who they are, so I would assume it's you guys. So thanks so much from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys to everybody who support. This is, I think, our 4th or 5th year helping Kenny out promote his Movember campaign. I think we've hit the goal every year, so that's all because of you guys, and we really appreciate that. If you want to get thoughts and intros on the show, we got some voicemails to get to tonight. Head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail on the drop-down menu. You can just listen to the show on Apple or Spotify. You can find us on any of the social medias sites. Just search at the Dogs Podcast. And if you want more Dogs content, just head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member on the Patreon page, access to the private Discord, fantasy football with us, all that good stuff. So if you want to hang out with us, you want to hang out with Kenny Mack, you want to get to know a bunch of cool Browns fans from all over the world, guys, gals, anything in between, it's jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. So tough one today for the Browns. We'll kind of give our initial thoughts before we get to some of these voicemails. Couple keys to the game for me as I was looking through this. If you look at just the numbers, and you leave a couple of them out, the Browns on paper, you're like, this was a close game. We had 15 passing first downs. They had 19. We only had 4 penalties. They had 3. Time of possession was almost split right down the middle. We had it for 29 minutes and 50 seconds. They had it for 30 minutes and 10 seconds. Passing stats were almost identical. We had some garbage time passing stats, but we actually rushed for more yards. We had more total yards than they did. But when you break it down to the keys to the game of how does it end up a 26-8 lopsided score where halfway through the third quarter is like we had no shot in this game. Turnovers, poor special teams play, and we were 3 of 11 on third down and 0 of 4 on fourth down, while the Niners were 11 of 17 on third down. As great as the defense played in the first half, we could not get off the field for basically this entire game on third down, and it killed us. It killed the defense. They were on the time of possession was split down the middle for the game, but we did some quick mental math here before we jumped on. We had about 4 or 5 more minutes of time of possession than them in the first half. So for them to come back and make it even, they had to have the ball 10 minutes longer than us in the second half. We just could not get off the field between them being 11 to 17 on third down, our muffed punt, turning it over on downs, not being able, going 3 and out. We were never on the field. I texted Josh and Justin, if he has a phone still, today. We were into the fourth quarter, and I said, guys, unless I'm forgetting something, I think we've only had the ball 10 plays this half, and we're 4 minutes into the fourth quarter. It was like by the time we actually got the ball with any kind of consistency, the game was out of reach. It was over. It was just And we played them so tough in the first half. And as well as we played in the first half, that's how poorly, in my opinion, essentially all 3 phases played in the second half. Well, obviously the special teams were the worst and offense was bad. The defense they just couldn't get off the field.
You said before we kind of went into the whole, your spiel here for the game, that if the game had been 30 minutes, the Browns would have come out winners. Technically, no. We were still losing at halftime 10-8 because why? Special teams, 66-yard punt return. How many times are we going to watch our special teams give up these huge returns every week? And then, like you said, Gage Larvidan muffs not 1 but 2 punts today. He fell on the first one, lost the second one, and then you got Malachi Corley. What in the are you doing? How does a professional football player who is in the return game not know to let a ball go out of bounds?
Here's what's crazy is maybe I'm misremembering, but when he was with the Jets I'm fairly certain there was a time where like he laid on the ground and put a foot out of bounds and then reached out and touched the ball. So it was like a super heads up play.
He did something really. Are you saying smart? I thought he did something really stupid with them.
I thought it was smart.
I can't remember now.
I can't remember. Maybe it wasn't him.
He basically fumbled the ball before he crossed the line with the Jets. That was the dumb one.
Okay, the dumb one. It must have been somebody else who did the smart one. But of all the plays in this game, that's the one that pissed me off the most.
That's a 30-yard swing. That
killed your drive. It's bad. They said that in the second half the conditions were worsening as the game went on. So you got a rookie quarterback in his second start who's missing now his right tackle and his right guard. He's playing Levinston and Tevin Jenkins in there on the offensive line. Then you back us up because you can't. Who knows what happens if that ball starts at the 40? The whole playbook's open. When you're starting at the 7, we could just drop back and throw. But if we throw an interception on the first play, everybody's just going to be screaming about how we're not running the ball. Why would you run that with a rookie quarterback? And it's just that killed any shot. As soon as that happened, I said, this is going to be a 3 and out. I know that this is going to be a 3 and out.
Dude, the field position game in this, like, I just couldn't comprehend it. Even like a small thing. Okay. Like we go for it on 4th down in the first quarter and we should have kicked a field goal. We could have been up 11-10 at halftime, and there's just we went for it on 4th down 4 times We didn't get anything out of it. We turned the ball over. We put the defense in terrible field position. We muff a punt, give them a 16-yard drive so they can get a touchdown to get into the game. I think overall off turnovers, correct me if I'm wrong, it was 13 points off turnovers. That was all the special teams' fault. This could have been a way easier game. They could have made it way easier on themselves. I was telling Josh before I got in here, like I did my big Movember event and I got people to come in just for the event and they're sitting down going, are you guys trying to lose the game? Because they didn't see anything about winning. Winning is like you take points for a rookie quarterback. You don't go for it in your own 33-yard line, right? Because the weather conditions were bad. You have a rookie quarterback. You have a team that doesn't push well with your offensive line. So make it short on yourself and make it easy on yourself. And this team today made nothing easy on themselves.
No, they didn't. And real quick, Blake, you said he was missing his right tackle and his right guard. Well, he wasn't missing Wyatt Teller because of like an injury or anything. Did you see that? They were rotating Wyatt Teller and Tevin Jenkins on different series throughout the game. Wyatt Teller said after the game that he was told earlier this week that was going to be the case because of his poor performance this season. So they're getting some extended look at Tevin Jenkins and basically semi-benching Wyatt Teller during the game.
Well, I mean, Wyatt Teller has, in their defense, he hasn't played that great this year.
None of them.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so that's disheartening because I'm like a huge Wyatt Teller fan. And that almost seems like the writing's on the wall that he's not going to be here next year, which sucks. But somebody said, has Fannin ever taken a snap? So I guess we can kind of talk about the play since we were talking about going for it on fourth down.
He used to be a quarterback.
Not
he used to be a quarterback for Pete's sakes,
But not at least this year. So here's the deal. I didn't hate going for it. Even I understand like where we were at on the field, but it felt like if we went 3 and out, like the defense has been, we just talked about how we never had the ball in the second half. It felt like if we went 3 and out, like that was going to be a backbreaker for the defense. I'm just like an aggressive guy by nature. I didn't hate going for it on 4th and a foot. 2 things with that though. I thought it was a piss poor spot. I thought it should have been way closer to about 4th and 6 inches, not 4th and almost a full yard. So I thought we either should have challenged a spot or at least called for a measurement or something. And then 2, my problem is the play call. What he hasn't taken a snap all year. Wow, if you're going to go for it, at least go back to the Wildcat.
Go to Junkins, yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point, we've ran that Wildcat like a bunch, especially the last couple weeks. At some point, do we have a variation off of it? Do we have one where Judkins maybe takes a step towards the line, like an old Tim Tebow jump pass?
Yeah.
Is there any kind of creativity off of it? Like we saw, it happened to us just 2 weeks ago. Ravens lined up on our center with Mark Andrews takes snaps for them, so that it's not. That wasn't bad for them, but they ran like a variation off the tush push, took it for a touchdown. Do we not have any variations off of the wild? Like if you're going to run the Wildcat that often, does it always have to just be run Quinshon Judkins head first into the line of scrimmage? We don't have we don't have any creativity off of that. So my issue wasn't necessarily the going for it. I'm an aggressive person and I wanted the offense to stay on the field. My problem was just like the play call. I'm like, why would we? And then when it got hectic, like take a timeout.
That was my issue. Is as soon as you started to see like some confusion out there, Shador's kind of trying to get the guys lined up. People don't seem like they know what they're doing. Just call timeout and punt the freaking ball. Or if you're hell bent on running a play there, then get a different play in that they actually know how to run.
Yes,
there was so much confusion as a head coach. That right there I thought that was a bad decision to just let them run that play. You have to understand what's going on and call the timeout.
I think with a young team in field position, you just don't run it and you punt it. That's what I think. I just think they're too young. I think Shador's too new. Like you said, do we know even if Fannin's ever handled any kind of snaps in practice? He hasn't in the NFL yet, even though he used to be quarterback in high school. So I think you punt that. I just didn't like the field position game at all today. Period. You didn't do anything to help yourself.
I think they showed the graphic at one point. The average starting field position at one point for the 49ers was the Browns or their own 41. And for us, we started our 21. Oof. 20 yards of a difference in field position. We played with terrible field position all day, which killed the offense. Also, you're especially when you're playing with a rookie quarterback, and I know a lot of people just want him to like completely open it up and let Shedeur just go, but at the same time, like, it makes sense to not do that. They said they're willing to give him an extended look for the rest of the season. They were encouraged by what they saw of the Raiders. Don't throw him to the Wolves against Robert Saleh. He's a great defensive coordinator. You know, he's one of the best in the NFL. Don't throw this guy to the Wolves. I don't mind having each week a slightly more last week was conservative. This week's and then maybe each week you give him a little bit more and a little bit more, a la like Julian saying at Ohio State, where he was week 1 compared to now, night and day. How much they're letting him do. Yes, big win by the way.
Yes.
At least we had that to hang our hats on this weekend.
No kidding.
So I don't mind a conservative game plan, but you just got to execute.
Yeah. So like you're saying, people will say, well, open it up, take the training wheels off of Shedeur. Open it up to what? What? We've got like Isaiah Bond and Gage Larvidan are kind of acting as the wide receiver too. Right now, Cedric Tillman had 1 target in this game, no catches. He's a bum. Jerry Jeudy sucks. Jamari Thrasher's our 5th round pick last year. Looked like he was supposed to be a guy they were going to lean on through training camp. He's a healthy scratch. Our wide receivers are so bad.
Dude, we were talking about
Jeudy off my team too. Just get Jerry Jeudy out of here.
We were talking about this splitting the reps with Teller. We can't split any reps because we want to take Jeudy off. We can't split it with anybody. We can't do anything with him. We signed him off a practice squad, and he's playing over Thrash and getting more run than Cedric Tillman.
Gage Larvidan was on the practice squad a month ago. You know what I mean?
Like
the wide receiver position, it's like us and the Titans are fist fighting for who can have the worst wide receiver core in the NFL. And get Jerry Jeudy out of here. It's not just the poor play. His attitude sucks.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if you guys have seen the video. Obviously I can't hear them, but like it looks like he's kind of barking at Shedeur and they're going over, and then Shedeur comes out post game and he talks about how like it's about trust and they got to get on the same page, which obviously that'll come with more practice and more games played. But like, bro, this is a guy who's playing with only a couple weeks of practice. He's a rookie in his second start. Why don't you try to pick him up? Why don't you encourage him? Like, Justin Jefferson was picking, JJ McCarthy's awful. And you don't hear like Justin Jefferson talking shit on him. Like he's trying to pick him up. Like we got to play. And then there's just Jerry Jeudy. And Justin Jefferson, by the way, is good at football. Jerry Jeudy is bad at football. So like if you're going to maybe have a good attitude, if you're going to lead the league in drops 2 years in a row and just essentially never be open or do anything of any good on the football field for us this year, at least have a good positive attitude. Don't just get him out of here. I'm done with that.
So what did you guys think of that play on the first drive where, Shedeur just overthrew Jeudy? Like that was a touchdown. That was a touchdown. It was a great throw. Just overthrew him. Did it look? Because I see people saying it looks like Jeudy kind of stopped running the route or didn't really follow through the route, or was it just a timing thing because these guys haven't worked together?
He definitely overthrew him, which could be part of a timing thing, like, his speed and all that. Also the wind.
Right.
But that's one of those things too, where like you'll the more you throw to the guy, you expect that you'll end up connecting on those shots.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, man, if only Shedeur had maybe some more reps with these guys, maybe we could hit a pass like that because it was open. And the thing I like about Shedeur, real quick, I'm sorry, Kenny, but he's at least taking the shots down the field. This episode is brought to you by Bodden Sports. Browns fans, Bodden Sports is your one-stop shop for all your athletic gear. Bodden started out perfecting and manufacturing the best balls in the business. Yeah, if that sounded dirty, that's more about your mind than my words. But hey, it's true. Baseballs, softballs, footballs, basketballs, volleyballs, soccer balls, you name it, and Bodden has engineered the highest standard sports balls available. And now they offer more than just sports balls. If you got kids playing baseball or softball, Bodden has batting gloves and bats to go along with both game balls and training balls. If you're into basketball, Bodden makes basketball specifically for indoor or outdoor use. Heck, Bodden even has all the equipment you need for pickleball, which is one sport that I hear everyone is playing and yet I still never have. And I need to fix that soon. But don't miss the backyard games section of Bodden's website, where you can order everything you need for this upcoming outdoor season. Pool balls, backyard volleyball nets, croquet, bocce, horseshoes, cornhole, and more. Right now, you can get 10% off your entire order at Bodden Sports, BADEN sports.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS when you check out. That's 10% off all the top quality sporting gear you need this season. BoddenSports.com/dogs.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He took the shot. He made the right read. When he stepped through, he just stepped through too hard. It was towards the dog pound, was it not, where the swirling wind was? And maybe he just thought he needed to put more on it to get it through the wind.
And we're also assuming that if he hit him, he would catch it too. There's
which
no
is
guarantee.
a huge assumption at this point.
or like get a penalty or stop and try and make a play and fumble it or whatever the deal is.
Jesus. Yeah, just get the guy out of here at this point. It's like, it'd be addition by subtraction. He's like the opposite of Jarvis Landry. He's the anti-Jarvis Landry.
Oh, man.
So I guess let's take a couple minutes to kind of like talk about the Shedeur performance. Kevin came out right after the game and said he's going to start next week for the Titans. I think he's in no jeopardy of losing his starting position to Dillon Gabriel. Anybody with eyes can see that he's clearly the best quarterback on our roster. The biggest thing now, and Ashton said it in our Discord today, he's not competing against Dillon Gabriel. He's competing against our top 5 pick next year. He's got this season to show that he is not, that we don't need to take a quarterback. And is he showing enough in these 2 starts so far to make you not take one? I will say, at least in my opinion, not yet. But every game I've seen things that are encouraging to me. If like the season ended right now, I would probably still take a quarterback. But if he continues to build on these next 5 games, I'm hoping by the end of the season, and it's trending that direction, I would rather go, just pick a wide receiver, 2 wide receivers. But there were a couple times today, like you saw some of the bad. Like he took a sack in the first half. We were fringe field goal range. If we just a 0-yard gain, it's fringe field goal range. Instead, he takes like a 12-yard sack and we have to punt. That's potentially points. Or if he hits a check down or a hot read or something like that, and we just get 5 yards, then we're definitely in field goal range. So that's potentially 3 points. Second half is sometimes it just seems like he just doesn't want to throw it away. I don't know why. He held one, he holds forever and then runs and slides into a sack. And I'm like, why would you slide? And it's the play he got hurt on. Why would you slide into a sack? Just throw it over somebody's head out of bounds somewhere. And then it's 4th and long, and you cannot take a sack on 4th and long. And then another play I thought that shows like his kind of unwillingness to just throw it away. It's 4th and 26, and he scrambles for 6 yards and slides.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just throw it up to somebody? And we had a guy in the Discord who's talking like he's just trying to make a play. The game's over anyways. The game's not over. The score might be over, but the evaluating of Shedeur's not over. And they want to see that he's not going to hold the ball. He's not going to take sacks. He's going to throw the ball. Like they're still evaluating him even if the game's over. So like I thought Shedeur played okay, considering like what they give him to work with in the conditions, but it wasn't like I wasn't blown away today, but I'm still like extremely encouraged about what I'm seeing.
That's why I was so irritated with the way the game was called. And like Kenny's been talking about the field positioning and of course the special teams just blowing everything, because it put Shedeur in a tough situation where this is only his second start. He's had minimal work with anything. Like they just really haven't been giving him a lot of runs since he's been drafted. He is still in college mode. Like that is his most recent starting experience was at Colorado, where he could run around. He could wait for guys to get open. He could make throws, make plays. He's still in that habit. Like he's still in college mode because this is only game 2 in the NFL. He needs more time.
I would say though, the thing I'll say though about like college mode and can run around and make plays, he still took like 90 some sacks.
I know.
In college. You know what I mean? So like that's my point where I was getting a little frustrated. Like at some point it's got to, like, that's what they want to, the only way for you to lose this job right now is to not show growth. And the way to show growth is don't slide into a sack. On 4th and 26, just throw the ball downfield and it doesn't matter if you throw an interception at that point. It's an arm punt. Throw the ball down the field and just give somebody a chance. Like, those are the little things that I'm looking for, and I'm assuming the coaching staff is looking for in a 26-8 game when there's 5 minutes left. Like, just show growth, because I don't want him to lose the job. I want him to be the guy. I'm a big Shedeur fan. So
I will say, in the last 6 quarters that were competitive, so the Raiders game and then the first 2 quarters of this game when it was competitive, he only took two sacks in those 6 quarters. Yes. The other sacks were late in this game whenever he was trying to make a play. We were down big. Okay. Like, I was a little irritated with the sacks, but I wasn't that much. I was like, whatever. Like, this, he's just trying to do something out there. We're not even competing right now. Whenever it was competitive, I thought he was doing well. And the thing I do like about him and I appreciate is his willingness to hang in the pocket and step up a little bit longer. I texted you during the game. I said, I like his pocket navigation, like that touchdown to Harold Fannin we haven't talked about yet. I mean, he gave enough time for that play to develop by just creating a little bit of separation in the pocket, creating an extra second, and he hit him for a touchdown, 34-yard touchdown. Like, it was a great play.
Another one was the one where he stepped up and got kind of hit in the chest and his arm, and he still made like the 16-yard completion in the middle. So that was big. Right? I knew this was going to happen, by the way. The guy in the middle must not be watching football. Just because I'm not blowing him, I'm all of a sudden a Shedeur hater. Even though I'm still saying I'm encouraged to see him more, and I still think he can be the guy, and I just want to keep seeing more. I'm guarantee you Shedeur thinks I could play better. So just because I think he can play better doesn't mean I'm not a guy who wants to see Shedeur play well.
If we don't think he can play better than he played today, then he shouldn't be the quarterback.
Yes.
The whole point is he's growing, he's learning, he's developing. Like, if this is the best game you're going to get out of Shedeur, he can't play quarterback in the NFL. There will be better games. He just needs the time to develop and learn. That's all.
Well, the biggest thing that I like about Shedeur, and you guys know what I can't stand about quarterbacks, and it tells if they don't know what they're doing. I know Harold Fannin was a leading receiver, and tight ends and running backs, if they only pass them, they don't know what they're doing and nobody's getting open. But after Harold Fannin, guess what? He targeted Judy 4 times, targeted Larvadane 3 times, and he targeted Bond 2 times. Everything else after that was he had to do what he had to do, but he's trying to get the receivers in the game. And he's also passing the ball down the field. And that's way better than what Dylan was doing, because he could only average 3-4 yards an attempt, right? We had 10 last week, which was fantastic because we had 3 explosives or 4 explosives, whatever it was. And he had 6. He averaged 6 per attempt this week, which is better than we've seen all year almost. So that means he's doing something good. What drives me nuts and where he took a step back is the crippling sacks. The sacks that are over 10 yards. Those are awful. And he's got to stop that. And it's like you said, he's got to throw it away. But I see stuff, Josh, how you say like, hey, he steps up in the pocket, kind of sideways, one side moves to the one side. Then he just launches one, and it's like a laser. And you're like, whoa, he's got it. It's there. He's got it. I mean, look at Dylan. He comes in for one pass to let's say the high flats, and it's a hospital pass. He just didn't have it.
Judkins, man.
You know what I mean?
You could tell as soon as Dylan came into the game, defense immediately knew it was going to be a short. I mean, there was no hesitation on that guy breaking on that. None.
Yeah.
I texted Blake right away. I said, first pass, hospital ball. He goes, God, he sucks.
That was rough to see.
The biggest thing with Shedeur right now, too, is you can see the impact he has on the rest of the offense, not just with his passing. The run game's better.
Yes,
like we look because they have to defend the whole field now. And we looked like at least in the first half when we had the ball and had some rhythm, we looked like a functional NFL offense, which is saying something considering we don't really have an NFL wide receiver core or NFL line. So the fact that we were able to look like a functional NFL offense and play so well against a really good defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh, that was encouraging in the first half. And like I said, I'd give him a C performance today. He was not the reason we lost. By no means was he the reason we lost. And he was part of the reason we were winning in the beginning. So that's it, guys. To everybody who's freaking out just because we're not glazing him, chill out. You're the reason why he has haters, by the way.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, though, okay? So you said what Ashton said in the Discord about he's competing against our top 5 pick next year. who? I don't want to just keep saying a quarterback in the top. Take a quarterback. Put a name with it. Who's the quarterback that you think we could take, that would be better, give us a better chance next year than what Shador's shown? Because outside of maybe Fernando Mendoza, and he's probably going number 1 overall, who are we really drafting that we're expecting to give us a higher ceiling right away than what Shador would offer next year?
Dante Moore's pretty good.
Okay, maybe Dante Moore. If he's that good, though, then he's going 2.
Well, we're probably going to be around there. We have 2 first-round picks.
I'd hate, but that's the thing. You're going to use both of them to move up, and then we have so many things we need. And
you're going nowhere without a quarterback, though. You're going nowhere.
I don't think we're going anywhere.
If you draft a bunch of these players and get good, and then try to find the quarterback, by the time you find the quarterback, all your players are on second contracts and old. We just saw it happen with our offensive line and Odell and Jarvis and Chief and all this stuff. So it's the most important position in football for a reason. I am hopeful and I feel confident that we have something here in Shador. I am optimistic about what I'm seeing.
It's a lottery ticket, man. If you have that salary for the next 3 years, and then you can do what Josh is saying, you get a left tackle, or you get 2 receivers, receive first 2 rounds, fill in some holes on the free agency, that's the way to go. But cross your fingers that he cannot have these crippling sacks and that he can keep ascending.
We have a super chat here from T. Orant Smith, 682. We appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. He says, coaches and special teams lost this game. I won't argue the first 4th and 1, but to go for it on your own 33-yard line in a close game is a terrible decision. Go get a left tackle and wide receiver in the draft. Appreciate the super chat. We kind of already talked about the going for it at the 33. I just hated the play call and the execution. I didn't hate the decision. I can understand the decision. You want to show confidence that you can go get a foot. But I hated the play call and I hated the execution of the play call. So that was my issue with it. But yeah. Do we want to do our commercial break real quick and then come back and get to some of the voicemails?
Sure, let's do that. This episode is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Browns fans, do you know about the 3 T's of Thanksgiving? Turkey for eating, table for gathering, and touchdowns for winning. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in before dessert. With DraftKings Sportsbook, all the action's in your hands. First touchdown, anytime TD, live bets, every play, every snap, every game counts. When the games get good, the bets get better. Here's the best part. New customers bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So when touchdowns happen, we feast. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code BROWNS. That's code BROWNS. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bet must win to receive bonus bets which expire in 7 days. Minimum odds required. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. Limited time offer.
All right, we're back real quick before we get to it. I saw one comment here said, dude in the middle forgot it was windy. Sack or not, they weren't attempting a field goal from that distance. So then it's okay to take a terrible 12-yard sack? That's going to be your argument? It was windy, so they wouldn't try to field goal anyway, so it's good to run around and hold the ball forever and take a bad sack. That's a stupid argument. Guys, be objective. You can want him to be a good quarterback and say when he has a good play and say when he has a bad play. That's all I'm doing. He had more good plays than bad plays. I just talked about only 4 plays out of all the plays we ran. We ran 50-some plays. He had 4 plays that I didn't think he was great on. That shouldn't be getting me skewered in the comments. He wasn't perfect. If you thought he was perfect and can come up with an excuse for every single bad play, that's part of the problem. You have to be objective about it or he'll never get better.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, I don't feel like anything that you've said so far has been unfair. I mean, we like what we see, guys. I don't know how you can watch, first of all, after watching 4 games of Joe Flacco, 4 games of Dylan, or 6 games of Dylan Gabriel, and now 2 games of Shador, how you cannot come away going, this is better. This is definitely better. Because I think I saw a stat The Browns had what? Joe Flacco had 2 pass plays beyond 30 yards in 4 games. Dylan Gabriel had 2 in 6 games, and Shador has what, 4 or 5 now, I think, in 2 games. So like he's doing things. He's doing things that we've been wanting a quarterback for this team to do.
Yes.
Dude, I would love just once to have a quarterback this year to throw over 300. Like these stat lines of like, and this isn't anti-Shador. This is anti how the Browns coach it up, or I don't know the offense, but I'm tired of like 16 for 30 for 150 yards and a touchdown. It's the same old every single week. Like, you know, Shador had a great game, but still, did he get over 200? I can't even remember last week. And, but it's still like we didn't get over 3. Like, just let's get 3. Like, let's do something, man. Like, I don't know. Pretend we have receivers.
It's going to be tough to hit 300 when a majority of your passes are screen passes to running backs and passes to your tight ends.
Right.
Like,
right. Oh yeah, we did, because we had a 66-yard last week with Samson,
to a running back.
Yeah. Right.
So this wide receiver core is like playing offense with a hand behind your back, and then the lines with the other hand behind your back. So it's tough.
It is. It's really ugly. But all right, let's do Brad first this week, and we'll hear his song for the week.
Look who's back again. The Browns are back. Don't tell your friends. Look who's back. Look who's back. Look who's back. We're the Cleveland Browns. I told you guys to curb your expectations. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Well, so does anybody know if Bubba Ventrone has been fired yet? I'm looking all over X. I do not see it quite yet, but he should be fired like before they even leave the stadium. That was terrible. Special teams, oh my God, so bad. Shador looked good on some couple drives, and then there was the bad of all the sacks and not throwing the ball away. Run game was pretty good, and then, just game got away from us. Man, this is just on to the Titans. Keep your expectations low, guys, because that's just what it's going to be the rest of the season. And it's just rough out there, guys. Here we go. Keep tanking, I guess. Whatever. Let's go, Browns. Woof, woof.
Somebody said, didn't he have only 11 attempts in the second half? I think you're right. I know I was kind of talking about that in the Discord during the game. I was like, we've only completed 2 passes so far in the second half. But we had only attempted 7 passes. We had barely been on the field. We talked about that. The offense was not good in the second half, but part of that was we were just never on the field. Like, it's tough to get into any kind of rhythm when you're just never on the field. You got a defense who's giving up 11 of 17 conversions on third down, and then you finally get a stop and you muff the punt, give it back to him.
That was such a backbreaker. Like,
there was a stretch of this game where it felt like our offense wasn't on the field for like an hour. Not game time, obviously, but of like real time. There's an hour where we just weren't on the field. So 100%. It was going to be tough to put up numbers in the second half when you're just never on the field. Super chat here, Jimmy Cleveland. Thank you. He said, did you all see Judy in Shador's face fourth quarter? He just fumbled the ball last game and he's a veteran. We talked about this. Get the guy out. I don't even want him on the team anymore. That's not who I want talking to my rookie quarterback who is trying to hold the franchise on his back. Like, he wants to be the future. My favorite part of Shador might not even be his play. It's like how he handles himself in the press, at the microphone, like how he puts it on himself and how he lifts up his teammates and all that good stuff. Like, somebody tried to bait him into talking bad about Stefanski today. He just called the guy out right away. Like, I love everything about Shador in that way. I don't need Jerry Jeudy corrupting him like that. Like, I don't need that around my rookie quarterback. Just get out of here. Mm-hmm. It'd be different if you were, a top level wide receiver. You're not even that. You're the definition of mid at best. Just get off my team.
Yeah, there's another super chat here from T-Ray. Says, I had 3 things for S2 to get better at after the Las Vegas game. One of them was stepping up in the pocket and not drifting, and he improved on from the game, but he has to throw the ball away and not take 10-plus yard sacks. Totally agree. That's what we've talked about so far. That's spot on.
Mm-hmm. And then, which, again, this was game 2. Yeah. Game 3 is next week. Maybe he does next week. He's better at it. Game 4 is a week after that. He's better at it.
Gradual improvement. Yes.
Yes. which then allows the Browns to bring him back for an entire offseason to prepare as a starter and to use free agency and draft capital on weapons and line, which is, if you're a Browns fan, that's what you should want. You should want to not have to take a quarterback. You should 100%. Want to be able to use all your draft capital and all your free agent money on offensive players to put around him. That's what we all want. Another one here from Young Among. I'm really bad at reading your guys' usernames. I apologize. This was just bad coaching. The difference between an elite head coach versus subpar coach, time management, and how to properly utilize their timeouts. Kyle wasn't scared to use his timeouts to run a play. I thought we got out coached in all three phases today. I thought like head coaching, play calling, special teams, obviously, and then I thought defensively, like if you let a team go 11-17 on third down, you didn't do a good enough job on defense.
Very bad.
So I thought that was all three phases. Is that all of them or did I miss one? I think that's all of them.
I think that was all of them for now. Yep. Okay.
All right.
So we'll do another voicemail. We'll get this one in here from Jacob.
Hey, what's going on, Dogs Podcast? This is Jacob, and we got some good news already that Shedeur Sanders will be the QB1 next week. And that kind of makes me excited, but the confusing thing is that they haven't announced him to be the starter for the rest of the season. That is a little bit concerning, but yet exciting. But also, let's talk about the special teams here. Yeah, the special teams sucked. Gage Larvidan dropping that punt to set up their touchdown. I think it was to Purdy, but also that long, it was a punt return? Yeah, it was a punt return. That was just unacceptable. If Bubba Ventrone has his job next season, ooh, I'm going to be mad. But thank you. Go Browns. Ooh.
If he has his job tomorrow, I'm going to be mad.
He'll have his job tomorrow just because I don't see us being the kind of team to make a change in the
They're riding this shit to the end. I know. Everybody listen, I'll be the one to say, fire Bubba. I'm sick of this shit. But I also know they're not going to do it. Like, what we have is what we have, and it's what we're rolling with for the next 5.
It's very rare though that anybody, I think we've talked about this before, it's very rare that anybody actually fires a special team coach mid-season. I think the Lions did it 4 years ago, and before that it was like 8 seasons or 9 seasons ago.
Teams aren't usually this bad.
Fair point.
I mean, we are exceptionally bad. But I mean,
it's like 2 or 3 gaffes a game, and they're major, like put points on the board, like giving them a 16-yard, to the end zone or giving up touchdowns. Like it's bad.
It's one of those things where you could make the argument the special teams has cost us 2 of our last 4 games, the Jets game and now this game.
Yep.
Like you just be neutral. Just be neutral. Just come out and make kicks. Don't kick kickoffs out of bounds. Field punts. I'm not even asking for large returns, blocked punts, anything. Kickoff returns for touchdowns. I'm just saying to just be neutral.
Get it to the
basic.
30.
Yes, just do the basic necessities of your job. Punt the ball to where it needs to go. Return the ball. Catch it every time. Don't have a single return yard on the season. At this point, I don't care. Fair catch it, run up and catch it, and we'll start wherever you caught it from. Just catch the ball. Just be new. You cannot be a negative with the offense we have and the weapons we lack. You cannot be a negative. We don't have anything to overcome negatives. It's terrible. Dude, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how it can be so bad. And it's one of those things too. Like, we let a guy like D'Anthony Bell go, who was like a great special teams player. Mm-hmm. And the special, like, it's not like the special teams last year were great, So you took a unit that wasn't that great, and then you got rid of maybe the best player off that unit, and he's out in Seattle now. And the special teams are even worse this year. And it's just like, it's inexcusable to be this bad. Like I said, just be a neutral. Just don't be a negative. And we can't even do that. It's terrible.
Well, look at the stat just from field goals with Stefanski, and if we miss one field goal, he's what, 3-13 or something like that. We can't look at the Jets game like 2-3 years ago when we missed a PAT, and how many times have we missed a PAT and just fell apart after? Like it's such an abomination that we can't get that together. And it's should be an easy part of the game, an easier part of the game, especially under 40 yards.
So we got a super chat. Oh, were you going to read it?
Well, I had one more real quick. He said Raiders fired their OC after the game. Haslam keeps his incompetent coaches. What I'm going to say about that is they fired their offensive coordinator, and everybody it's a dumpster fire. That's what dumpster fires do. They fire coaches and coordinators during the season. We're 3-9. We're not making the postseason. Just don't be a dumpster fire. You can do it on Black Monday when everybody else fires their coaches. I don't want to model what we do off of the Raiders. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say don't be more of a dumpster fire because we already are.
But we're not the worst team. There's way worse
teams.
teams.
Surprising.
We've seen that.
Our defense is keeping us out of that.
But it's one of those things where I'm not gonna go, well, the Raiders fired their offensive coordinator. Why can't we fire our special teams coordinator? Well, I don't really want to be like the Raiders.
And didn't they get killed today?
I have no idea.
I thought the Chargers beat the crap out of them.
Well, that's not shocking. No. Super chat here. Why, as a head coach in a game, would you choose to go into the wind in the first and fourth quarter? So I actually kind of thought about this. We had the ball so we got to defer. We deferred to the second half.
Right.
So don't they get to choose where they defended?
They choose the direction they go, right? Since they're taking the ball.
I don't know how it works.
I guess I forget how that works.
Somebody explain this to me. But so I would imagine we won the toss and we decided to defer to the second half. So then the other team then got to choose which way they want to go or defend or how it works. So therefore, by deferring to the second half, we didn't have the choice of which way we wanted to go in the first and the fourth quarter. Correct?
Right. We just said we want the ball second half.
Correct. So I understand. I thought about that too during the game. I was like, if we had a choice, why would we be doing it this way? But I don't think we had the choice.
Defer means we're deferring our choice for the second half, which technically you could go in the second half and say, we don't want the ball because we're deferring our choice till then. But so then they're taking the ball.
He said, I thought we lost the toss. If we lost the toss the Niners took the ball. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't have it on until right before the start of the game, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, no.
But if anybody knows, let us know. Another super chat here, we appreciate the super chats. Get the Ravens center Tyler. He's his last year contract. Get Jackson Powers from the Raiders. Fire Kevin, wide receiver coach. Bubba, hire Brian Flores. Hire Larry Fitz for wide receiver coach. Draft wide receiver and O tackle. Repeat. I would say a month ago, I probably would have fought you back on some of this stuff. And I'm at the point now where the entire coaching staff can I'm not going to argue if they're just all gone. Some people want to keep Jim Schwartz. I'm not going to dog him because the defense, but the defense is always good at home against bad teams. When we play teams with good offensive coordinators and we give up 11-17 on third down. We can, since he's been here, if you run a counter or a jet sweep against us, it's going for big yards. The same problems we've had when he first got here, they still come back to bite us. Now, obviously that unit's way better than the offensive side of the ball, but that unit also has all of our best players and all of our top draft picks from the last 4 years. It should be significantly better. So I'm at the point now where even though I think Kevin could probably go be head coach somewhere else and be good at this point, it's just, if everybody's gone here, I'm not going to argue with it. No, I'll just be excited to see who we go get, I guess.
No, just because you feel stuck. You don't want to see the same thing over and over again. And the biggest thing that we talk about before we get on and go live on this is well, what can we talk about? Because we got to talk about how we can't pass the ball again, how we give up third down longs, that we got to talk about how we can't hit a field goal, or we give up a big return. It's the same thing over and over and over again. And then when you see that, you're like, I can't get behind these guys anymore. Why are they still coaching the team? We need something different.
Yeah, for sure. And the whole keep Jim Schwartz, for me, I just feel like that's a tricky road to go down when you're trying to attract a good new head coach to say, well, you can kind of hire your own staff, except for the D coordinator. You have to keep our D coordinator. And Maybe they don't jive. Maybe their philosophies aren't aligned. I don't know. And speaking of alignment issues, maybe I'm reading too much into things, but whenever I see the Adam Schefter report yesterday that the Browns are open to giving Shedeur an extended look throughout the rest of the season, and then immediately after the next game, in which Shedeur did not play bad, and we did not lose because of him, they asked Kevin Stefanski if he's going to be the starter after next week, and he would not commit to anything beyond next week. It's like, so who was the messaging coming from yesterday saying extended look, and then Kevin today saying, well, we're going to take, basically saying we're taking it 1 week at a time. I feel like there might be a rift there.
Kevin's never going to say anything at a press conference. It's coach speak all the time. The decision, he came out and said Dylan Gabriel is going to be the starter, and then the very next week Shedeur is the starter. So like he's never going to say anything of any substance in a press conference. So I take anything he says with a grain of salt. I think it would take the only way Shedeur doesn't play the rest of these games is if he gets hurt. I mean, anybody with eyes can see that.
That's how it should be.
Anybody with eyes can see that. Stop saying Kevin can be a good head coach. How? He's too trash for the worst team in the league. Trying to save your Mayo brethren. Well, I don't care what color he is, but I would almost bet my house that he'll be a head coach again. You think the two-time coach of the year is not going to get one more shot at being a head coach? The NFL recycles head coaches. That's what they do. People get fired and hired. There's
only so many.
Yes. So if you don't think he'll get another head coaching gig, you're out of your mind. Another super chat here. Sorry if you already talked about this. Why did we get away from what was working? The run game was working and helping the rookies in the first half. I think the Niners kind of adjusted a little bit, and it wasn't working as well in the second half. Also, losing our right tackle didn't help the run game. And then you got down. You kind of like, although
you got down,
we didn't necessarily throw the ball a ton in the second half. Still, we were down 26-8 or something, and we were still running the ball. It kind of became like even the coaching staff realized we're not going to come back from this, and we're not just going to throw the ball a bunch of times, turn it over, and lose 50-8. We're just going to get out of here with this bad of a loss instead of an even worse loss. Like even they knew this game's over.
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Yep. No, I don't disagree with that. All right, let's do another voicemail. This one's from Tori.
Hey guys, it's Tori. I'm at Huntington Bank Stadium. Drove 9 hours to be here. There's 7 minutes to go in the fourth. See tons of fans leaving. It's been a disappointing game. I mean, in the first quarter, Shedeur had Jerry Jeudy wide open. I'm not saying he would have caught it, but he had him. And then Bubba Ventrone, he needs to be fired. Horrible special teams coach. He wouldn't have taught Greg Larvadain to catch the ball, but that was horrible. I'm hoping we can build off Shedeur, get Carnell Tate in the draft. Hopefully Caleb Downs too. Go Bucks. Big win on Saturday, but disappointing game for the Browns. Go Browns.
Man, Carnell Tate yesterday just made me even more. I was like, get him. I want this guy so bad.
Oh man, yeah, he was amazing.
I really want Shedeur to. I think Shedeur's gotten better every game so far. Even though, like earlier, I said he wasn't perfect today, and that got a ton of blowback. I thought he's gotten better in every game so far. If he continues to get better in every game, I want to just take the 2 best wide receivers that are available when we pick, in the next draft. That's all I want. Focus on linemen in the, whatever, the second and the third rounds or free agency or whatever. We have to add some dudes to this offense that put fear into people and who can catch the ball and who are fast. Like we got to I want Carnell Tate. I need him like I need water. Like I need air in my lungs.
Dude, we know what else we need. We just need depth, and it goes back, like Blake said this over and over and over again. Special teams just represents how bad we are as a team depth wise. We just don't have it. They don't break down like the way they should because they're just a lesser tier of a player. Like any of these guys that are on the back end that are making the special teams plays or on special teams right now, if they get cut, I don't think anybody's picking them up. Like even with Gage Larvadan, like, I mean, do you guys, I know we like him and we want him to do well, but I mean, if he gets cut tomorrow because he muffed that ball, is he getting picked up anywhere other than our own practice squad? You know, we had this discussion come up in the Discord about one player that you would choose from the Browns past that could change things. And I picked Josh Cribbs because you know what? Not only was he a good returner, that guy was a hell of a gunner. And we can't do either. You know, that guy made up for a lot of deficiencies on his special teams. And we don't have a guy like that right now. We need a guy that can wrap up on special teams and make sure that the player gets his ass to the grass.
That's I feel bad for Gage Larvadan kind of today because I talked about last week about how I felt like we finally had a good punt returner. You know, he was making good decisions. He's fielding the ball. Like I was like, hey, maybe we finally kind of have this position locked down. And then he struggled mightily today. Like the caller said, the special teams coordinator isn't going to teach the guy to catch the ball. You know, that's just the player's got to play. My biggest concern with the special teams is like Kenny's saying, coverage and situational awareness. Like your guys should know not to catch the ball and run out of bounds. Like and if he doesn't, if he doesn't know that, that's on you. And if he does know that and he did it anyways, bench him for a quarter next week. Bench him do something to send a message like you can't put this team at a disadvantage like that by doing something so stupid. It's like when I think it was Thomas jumped off sides when they were clearly not going to run a play. And I said, cut him. Maybe you don't cut him, bench him, do something to say no, or make him inactive for a game. I bet you Malachi Corley won't do that again if he's inactive next week. You know,
not a guy fighting for his NFL life. Yeah. Yes.
Do something like that because that's unacceptable. The coverage, our punt coverage and our kickoff return coverage, I get the fear of God in me every time we kick off and it's not in the end zone because I think it's going to go back. And I know that the way the kickoff is now, like I watch other teams and people almost break one a lot. So it's not just the Browns, but I feel like it's worse for us. Maybe it's because this is who I watch and I care about. But man, we're so close to having them busted on us all the time. I just walked myself into that one. But no, that's my issues. Obviously, like catching, throwing, that's players got to play. Coaches aren't out there telling them how to catch the punt. But your players should know not to run out of bounds while catching a kickoff. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. So we got another super chat. I think this, and my screen's small. It says Breeksy37. Why are reporters trying to stir drama? Quote, do you like Kevin Stefanski play calling going forward on fourth down? Obviously, they asked Shador that in the press conference, and she says, what do you expect him to say? I thought he handled it well. He basically
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, he's like, I want to play. I want to be on the field playing, so obviously I'm okay with it, you know. And you're right, Blake. They try to bait him into some stuff all the time, and the way he handles himself, he's got a bad rap from people for no reason. The way he handles himself is great. I think he's great guy.
No, I love the way he handles himself.
You haven't been listening to Cleveland media for a long time if you're asking that question either. That's Cleveland media for you, brother. Like, I mean, they're just that way. Mary Kay Cabot, Tony Grossi, they ask those questions because they're a-holes, and that's just the way it is.
Oh, Blake just got some kudos.
Finally, somebody was nice to me. Superfan says, as a Shador fan, I know you're being fair and objective. Not every fan can tell the difference. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate it. If anybody has watched this show for any extended amount of time, I've been like the Shador guy. I was who I wanted pre-draft. That's who I wanted them to take. I mean, I've been on the Shador train the longest of maybe anybody on this show. So it's super funny when I get the hate just because I like call out a couple things.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 voicemails left here before we end the show. This one is from Kia, who called last week.
Hey guys, it's Kia. I just wanted to say, what did I watch? Jerry Jeudy. Oh my gosh. You have to be traded. He has to be traded. He's not an alpha wide receiver one. We need a real wide receiver. If Shador threw that ball to Cardinal Tate or Jeremiah Smith, that was easily going to be 20 yards gained or even a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy is not it. And Technoball, what is this coaching? The coaching decisions of this game is terrible. What am I looking at? Kevin Stefanski, Bob Vinchel, you told you guys need to go. This is insane. I'm on the home turf too. Oh my gosh. The only good highlight play of this was Shador's touchdown pass to Harold Fanning Jr. Thank God, because oh my gosh, this game is absolutely atrocious to look at or even watch.
Yes, it was.
Appreciate. I think from the Bahamas, she's our first time Bahamas caller, so we appreciate the calls. Keep them coming in; they're awesome. No, it's like this was a poorly coached game in all 3 phases, in my opinion. Like we just did not look. We just didn't in the second half. In the first half, it was like, look at us go. Yeah, like and we just as soon as we got to halftime, and they kind of made a couple of adjustments on the other side. We were done. We were overmatched.
That's been the story of the season. That's been the story of the season, though. Every time we seem to do well, and they just what did Mike Vrabel say? Kind of run out of the bag of tricks or the trick plays, and then we got nothing in the second half. We just can't. The offense can't maintain it. They throw the defense under the bus, and then the special teams always screw something up.
Yep.
And it's the same old story.
So as soon as the gimmick plays are over.
The gimmick plays, yeah. Thanks.
Last one here is another first-time caller. This is Philip.
Hey, guys. Philip here, French-German living in Dubai, listening to the podcast for the last 2-3 years. I love what you guys do because you guys are critical, and there's plenty to be critical about with the Browns, but also you get excited when things go right, and this is what we need. And we need some positivity and some excitement here. So I'm really excited about Sanders. I do believe that Dylan probably needed more time, and I really like the guy, and I want him to do well. Nothing personal, but yeah, I also didn't want to see him anymore. With Sanders, I just hope for some reason, I do hope he's the Messiah. I just hope that things go well because I'm tired of drafting another quarterback. I became a fan after the 0-16 season because they were on Hard Knocks, and I'm just tired of this, this cycle. So let's hope that Sanders is doing well and that we can develop him and hopefully find a franchise quarterback. Go Browns. Woof, woof.
First of all, first caller from Dubai, so that was awesome.
Nice.
Like,
yeah,
hearing calls from like literally all over the world. I mean, not to get like sentimental, but we started this podcast 5 years ago, and we had like 8 views on every video for the first year. So the fact that we're getting calls from Dubai now that's just wild. By the way, Dubai is like on a bucket list city. It looks awesome. I'd love to go there someday. And then the fact that you became a fan after we went 0-16, like glutton for punishment. But you came in at a great time because
there was a ton of people who did.
That window right there was, I mean, honestly, you've been here for the most success we've had since 1999, honestly. Mm-hmm. So like, that's what some people like. I know that this season has sucked and last season has sucked, but really, if you take a step back and look at it, we just had the most successful era of Cleveland Browns football we've had in most of our lives. So, which is what makes this hurt so bad, because it felt like we were on the up and up, and then we just fell off a cliff. But thank you for the call. Keep them coming in. That was awesome.
Yeah. So I was looking at, what was it? Daniel Ofusi, I think, posted this on X. I can't remember the exact number or the exact stat, but it's something like 27 seasons now since the return in 1999, and we've had 4 winning seasons. Today just secured the 23rd losing season since 1999.
That sucks, man.
I mean, it's been if people are like, man, you Browns fans are freaking loyal. You don't go through the crap we've gone through for all these years and still be here. Like, damn it, whenever we are actually good, you just wait. We're going to be unbearable.
Hey man, Browns fans will have like 5 ex-wives before they get rid of their team. It's crazy,
so
dude. Or ex-husbands. Sorry, I'll go both ways, but you know what I mean. Like, it's wild, and we just keep putting up with the same old stuff every year. It's like it never changes. The coaches change, the GMs change. Hell, man, even our owners have changed. Like in my lifetime, I've had 3-4 owners. Like that's crazy, and like. I'm older than you guys. I'm 50. And I say this every time. I at least, like when I was 10 years old, 10 to 1990, I got to see Bernie Kosar and the boys. I got to see some winning, the AFC Championship. That's what keeps me in. A lot of those players keep us in. And since 99, man, all it's been is a hoof to the midsection. It's been awful.
You know what really sucks too is like the reason this sucks so bad and it's hard is, like I said, it felt like we were on the rise. We were on the ascension. I mean, we were stopping Chad Henne away from going to the AFC Championship game a few years ago. We're a non-helmet to helmet call, a fumble out of the end zone by Rashard Higgins away from going to an AFC Championship game possibly. And it's one of those things where like, how much of it can you trace back to Baker throwing a pick and hurting his shoulder? And it's like from that moment, just tiny little dominoes slowly falling. Poor play by Baker, beef in the locker room, Odell beef. Then we move on from Baker and we get to Sean. He sucks. Another large domino. Money tied up. Can't add talent. Don't have first round. And it's like how much? Like if he just doesn't throw that pick, where are we today?
Hey man, if he would have just sat,
doesn't stop running the route.
If he just, if Baker would have just sat his ass that season and had Case Keenum play, because that's the most I've seen us pay a backup quarterback was $9-10 million. Case Keenum would have done fine. He was 3-0 that year, I believe, and we had a decent running game. We had a decent line, but Baker was too afraid of how Case Keenum might perform in Stefanski's offense and would lose him money. Well, we all lost in the end because we got Deshaun, which was a domino mention, and we've just been rudderless ever since.
Yeah. But I was going to say, let's forget about today. Today sucked. I'm done. T-Ray, Super Chat, thank you, says, I don't know about you all, but I am ready for the Sanders versus Cam Ward matchup. Next week, the excitement is about to feed families. We're going to be there for it, you guys.
Not at the game, but we're going to be live. I wouldn't do that to myself, but we are going to be live on YouTube for the entire game. We're going to be watching the game, live streaming us watching the game. So come hang out with us on Sunday next week in the chat. We're going to be live for the entirety of the game. We'll probably jump on a little bit before, give some of our thoughts, and then it's just going to be like hanging out with the boys watching the game. So make sure you guys come hang out with us next week, 1 p.m. for that matchup. We can't wait to watch that game. As bad as today was, I think I would pick the Browns to win. That's so I think we'll get after Cam Ward. Miles is still on a mission. The defense wants Miles to get that record, and they're on a mission. And so, like, I expect us to make his life miserable because if there's a wide receiver core in the league worse than ours, it's theirs. Mm-hmm. And our defense is way better than their defense. So I'm excited to see Shador now for a third week of starter preparation, a third game at home, hopefully a little bit better weather conditions, not as windy. So we're excited to be on YouTube live with you guys for the 4 hours next week watching this game. So make sure you guys come hang out with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I think the running game's got a little bit. They looked okay. Like they were 31 of 138 yards, and hopefully we can get punch a couple touchdowns in. See a little bit more wildcat with Quinshon Junkins, and just receivers don't screw anything up. Throw to our tight ends.
Titans have better receivers than us. Probably, but it's at least like they're at least the most comparable wide receiver room. But I can honestly say before we get out of here, I posed this question a while ago. If you took the Browns wide receivers and put them on Ohio State's current team, which of the Browns wide receivers right now would start at Ohio State?
I don't know if Judy starts over Ennis.
Judy would probably, if you really think back, Judy was he was awesome in college. He would probably start. He would start over Ennis, our wide receiver 3, because he's not better than Jeremiah Smith and he's not better than Carnell Tate. So this is what we're asking quarterbacks and coaches to call plays for and quarterbacks to throw to. We don't have a number one wide receiver for our college team in the state of Ohio on the current NFL Browns professional team. And I'm dead serious about that. And you can say if you put him on a college team, he'd obviously be the number one, but look at it the reverse. If Ohio State loaned us Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate right now to the Browns to use for the next game, they'd be the 1-2 for the Browns next game.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yep. So you can't, and outside of Jerry Jeudy, there's not a wide receiver on the Browns roster that'd get playing time at Ohio State.
No, Tillman sucks. Like this, nobody's got enough. Nobody could get open. Like, I mean, I don't know, even in college. So
does Fannin, this guy says, does Fannin even start at Ohio State? Yeah, he's a tight end. He would definitely start it. Fannin is very good in the NFL. He would definitely start at Ohio State.
He would play every position. That guy is unreal.
He led college football in receptions and yards playing for Bowling Green last year. He's good.
He would definitely play at Ohio State. But none of our, like, maybe the next chance is Isaiah Bond. I'm not. Maybe would play, maybe would get run at Ohio State, but that's how bad this wide receiver core is. They would not start at our college team in this state. That's also how good Ohio State's wide receiving core is.
True,
which is incredible. But on that note, we'll wrap this thing up. We appreciate Kenny stepping in for Justin. Supposedly, if Justin's still alive, he's going to be on our live stream next week. That's like the one message we've heard from him in the last 3 weeks is that he'd be there. So we'll see. But so make sure you guys are with us on Sunday next week whenever we do the live stream for the Titans game, the Cam Ward Shador matchup that everybody wants to see. Also, make sure you tune in later in this week when we preview that matchup on the Dogpack Discord episode. We appreciate everybody who is here in the chat for this one and just kind of going over the game and a little therapy session for us here on a Sunday night. Hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving and a good holiday, and we appreciate you guys being here. So again, make sure you check out the preview on Thursday, and please come hang out with us on Sunday next week, and we'll see you then.
Let's go Brownies. Hoo, hoo, hoo.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by W3 Schools. Have you ever wished you knew how to write web programming code? Before I launched my website design business, I knew exactly nothing about writing web code. The languages were so foreign to me, and I didn't have a clue where to begin, but that's when I discovered W3 Schools, and that's also when everything changed for my career. Right now, you guys can head over to campus.w3schools.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS, DAWGS, to get 20% off select certification collections. Now, W3 Schools is the largest online web developer site with tutorials and courses to help you learn and improve your skills in writing code. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, and more. Dive into an extensive library of courses, lessons, quizzes, and interactive exercises on W3 Schools campus. Whether you're a beginner like I was when I started, or you're an experienced coder, there is something for everyone. Track your progress as you learn, revisit areas that you need to improve on, and advance at your own pace with real-time feedback and results. I can tell you guys firsthand, I would not be where I am today without W3 Schools. Our website, thedogspodcast.com, would not exist without the knowledge and skills that I learned through the user-friendly and easy-to-follow tutorials from W3 Schools. If I can do it, if I can learn it, guys, you can too. Trust me on that. Learning code could take your career to a whole other level that you never even dreamed possible. Earn credentials that show employers what you can do. W3 Schools platform offers certification exams at different skill levels, and you can see your results right away. These industry recognized certificates help you stand out and get ahead in your career. So don't wait. I fully recommend W3 Schools, obviously, because it was the catalyst that launched my web development career. Head to campus.w3schools.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS, DAWGS, for 20% off today.